This is my favorite thing all week. Ladies and gentlemen, help. Our DEI trainer won't stop talking about kink. So they hired a trainer at the place.
Yeah.
And they came in and this girl, I'll read a little bit of her thing. She goes, the individual straight cisses whom I work with are pretty nice for the most part. Still, people like my boomer coworkers often misgender people, mostly the younger they thems at my office, and they bristle when they are corrected. We need some outside help, so we requested a trainer outside of our organization be hired to do cultural competency training that would cover pronoun use. And although it took years of private cajoling and public shaming, we finally got it. I know a guy that his wife works at a consulting place, and they had to start doing DEI because that's the thing they want. And a lot of these places legitimately go to a business, and then they do like a $100,000 DEI training that fucks up their business, and then they hire them again to consult to come clean up the mess of their own. It's a perfect scam.
It's a nice little racket, right?
It's a perfect racket. But this is so funny because the DEI trainers, a lot of them are tapped into being sex positive. So just, you've been like, we need a guy to come tell us like why being trans is great. The guy comes in, he's just wearing leather. His briefcase, he drops the dildos, all come out. You know what I mean? I'm the kinky DEI trainer. He's got a bed. Yeah, it's like the kinky DEI trainer is like a literal sitcom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, it's so crazy that they're just.
Dude, he's got a bag. It just comes out all the whips and chains and stuff like that.
All that stuff. He goes, oh, that's not even for this.
I'm the kinky DEI trainer.
DEI stuff.
The slides are, it's just like, why white people are bad, why men are bad. Two guys eating each other out.
It's like pointing with a whip.
Yeah.
It's like pointing to the thing with a.
But yeah, he's like, whips are obviously a symbol of white supremacy, but also can be a good time.
Yeah.
And
who wants to get whipped right now?
We need to talk about those times. We need to be able to differentiate between the times when you are Now, we're going to talk about subs and doms for the next 2 hours. The trainer is an interesting person who belongs to many identity groups, trans and identifies as kinky, which that's pretty.
I didn't know kinky was an identity.
He identifies as kinky.
I didn't know that was one of the identities.
Yeah, you can identify as kinky.
All right.
He's a kinky boy.
I guess you can't vet the DEI trainers. You just get what you get, because if you turn one away, then that's like its own set of problems.
Exactly.
Like if we go, hey, we need a DEI, someone goes, I'm available, and they go, oh, not you, and they go, not me?
Not me?
What's wrong? What's wrong with me?
You just had your first lesson, pal. That'll be $100. You saying that I was improper for the job was your internal misogyny.
Yeah.
That'll be $1,000.
This is another reason why you need me.
You're just proving my point of why you need me. The fact that you think I wouldn't be good, you've actually. Like, statistically, you haven't actually helped any of the companies you went to. They all crumbled the minute after you do your training. You go, looking at statistics, another problem.
White supremacy.
You need me. You actually need me more than I thought. For example, when addressing questions like, what should I say if someone misgenders my coworker? This person's answer includes that misgendering may be all right if it's part of sexual play. So. I would love,
dude. You know how baffled you'd be if you're some dude like 5 years from retirement. You got in trouble for misgendering, and now you're being told there actually is a case for misgendering. But what? They're sexy. Play?
Yeah, you go into the DEI guy's office, like human resources. They're like, you misgendered. Now, obviously, I need to ask you questions. Was this during a sexual situation where you're? Were you riding this guy during the process?
Were you trying to be sexy in any way?
Yeah.
If you were hitting on them, then that's actually okay.
Yeah, there's actually some loopholes here.
Sure.
There's a few loopholes here. How sexy were you trying to be? But it really is a sitcom, though, having the kinky DEI guy. Okay, we've talked about white supremacy for the last half an hour. Now put your hand up if you know what gaping is.
Well, it might not even be a guy. Might not be anything.
And then it said some of the coworkers are asking, I'm really confused how kinky is an identity like trans. So they said what you said.
Yeah.
They lost me with the kinky stuff.
Sure.
So he said some of the boo. So, okay, boomer. Some of her boo. She actually is like saying that this is causing more problems because it's actually making people being like these freaks.
Of course. Well, people are already kind of not super receptive to the stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just going along with it. And then now they're like, all right, this is getting a bit much.
Dude, it's literally be like, the equivalent of being like, hey, we're going to make you more accepting of trans, and you bring a guy in that's like, has a ball gag in and talking about sexual play, is like, you go to like a racist place and you're trying to give them, like, tell them like, hey, you guys are wrong about racism. And then you bring in like a guy that's like a gangster shooting guns to like show you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, like, there's like,
you'd be like, it's not helping.
this is an accounting firm.
Yeah.
You're like, you brought this guy in, you're like, an accounting firm. It's unclear how this will help at all.
Yeah, you're like, hey, we want to give a seminar of how we need more women in the workforce, and the girl comes in crying to teach you about how you need to be more receptive to women. That'll be, this is gonna be $1,000. He goes, the person, the CEO, we take credit in cash. Venmo and Cash App. So definitely the kinky trainer passes the bucket around at the end for cash.
I would love to know who
tips.
this kinky trainer is.
Kinky trainer is incredible.
Kinky DEI trainer. I wonder if they didn't know. Like, I wonder if there was information that they were kinky, or like that was kind of news when they showed up.
Oh, I bet you their photo of them somehow on the website is them standing backwards with their head between their legs, looking at the camera like that.
All right. Well,
which raises questions. This is her conspiracy. Did management intentionally pick this trainer in hopes that this effort will fail or create confusion, and then allow people to continue to use the wrong pronouns for they thems, because they will be like, I thought you were into misgendering kinky style, as implied by the mandatory HR training.
That's actually a smart move. If you're being forced into this, you go, well, I'm gonna get the worst person possible. How does that sound?
That's not the
Still
worst
counts.
Idea. But it's like you go up to a woman, like, that identifies as a woman, you're like, what's up, man? You go, sorry, I was just being kinky there.
Bit of a kink of mine. It's a kink of mine to misgender.
Sorry, I should have mentioned I'm fucking kinky as fuck.
How is that even a kink to misgender people? You go, it's what I'm into. I'm a freak. I'm a real freak.
Exactly.
I just like to just call you by your wrong pronouns.
You're due to the workplace. You just have to show up like the next day with leathers because you're like, you misgendered, and you have to go with it. Like, no, I didn't. I told you I'm kinky.
Ball gags for disciplinary stuff. You go, put the ball gag in. You're not allowed to talk for 15 minutes.
Yeah, again, I mean, it really is like walking into the office, and the guy's like, well, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You misgendered, unless there is one way out of this.
There is a way out of this.